I haven't done any formal in-person meditation classes, but I've done informal online trainings. So with this addition to my background, I think I have a foundation to at least share a few concepts and practices with you all today. And I'll turn it over to Lillian, our co-host today, to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lillian Toomey. I supervise the purple counties there in Region 3. And I'm really happy to see a lot of you guys for the second or third time. And I'm really excited to talk today about mindfulness and awareness practice.
Thanks, Lillian. So there's 4 things that I would like to cover today. Number 1 is to determine exactly what meditation and mindfulness is and how they differ from one another. Second is to figure out why meditation and mindfulness is worth knowing about and worth practicing, and to explore the benefits of engaging in these exercises. We're going to do a couple practices with everybody. You have the option to turn your camera on. I think that would be great, or you could leave it off. Of course, there might be a little bit of bandwidth issue, so but it would be great to see everybody's faces. And then at the end, we will share our experience with meditation and mindfulness. I've done this with just our team at Idaho Strong and had some really interesting experiences with these practices. So it'd be cool to hear what you all experience as well. So we're going to be doing a couple questions to get started with, just to get a gauge of where everybody is at. If you're not familiar with Slido, you can type it into your browser, slido.com, and enter the code that you see there, hashtag 963672, or you can just open up your camera app on your phone and point it at that QR code, and it should prompt you with a link to go directly to this poll. And I'll hand it over to Lillian again to ask you all some questions.
Great. So first of all, just wanted to hear from you what you're hoping to get out of this presentation, knowing that we're going to be talking about some meditation practice and also some mindfulness strategies and awareness strategies. So for your response, just anything that comes to your mind, and it'll pop up on the screen there once you've been able to enter it into Slido. More information about it, chance to practice these skills, cool. How to connect with myself, I'm seeing. How to practice meditation with purpose and with effectiveness so that it's actually something that, a habit that you build. Yeah, just additional information, yeah. Great. Opportunity to learn more about how to be effective. And then, yeah, just kind of hearing others' experiences. I think that's something that's helpful for me, is to see like what's going on for you all when you do this. Is my mind doing the same thing that your mind's doing? Any tips or tricks for practicing it, helping others understand what it is and how they can apply it? I think that's a really crucial one for those who work with people who this might be helpful for them, how we can translate that to them and help them use it in their lives. Just increasing awareness. Great. Thanks. We have a couple more questions, so we'll move on to the next one. So what's been your experience with meditation before? If you've done it before, have you done it for 2-3 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, longer? What's been your experience with meditation? Typically 5 to 10 minutes, okay. About 15 minutes at a time, consistency is a hurdle for that person. About 10 minutes after yoga practice. Some people said no, they haven't. Noise in your head can be a hurdle for people to confront. Have they tried it before? It's really difficult. It's, you get there for a few minutes and then you feel like something else comes up. Guided meditation has been helpful. Apps maybe weren't as beneficial. Great, thanks for sharing that. All right, we'll move on to that last question. So just as a kind of like a brief emotional check-in, how are you feeling right now? How's your day going? Are you kind of at an anxiety peak, or are you just feeling mellow? Are you down, up? Kind of where are you at right now? Stress, slight anxiety, content, ready to be creative, a little scattered. We're all coming, in the middle of a work day for some, at the, just different places in our days that can feel kind of scattering, somewhat mellow, somewhat calm. Great, feeling good. Calm's coming up a couple times. So with the word cloud, you can see that the ones that pop up larger have been entered by multiple people. So that's kind of cool, seeing a couple people feeling calm. Great, thanks for participating.
Thanks for that, Lillian, and thank you all for your answers. Hopefully we can all get to be in that content and creative state by the end of this. Maybe that will be our goal for this session. That's a good state to be in. So I think to get started, we should figure out what meditation is and what mindfulness is, and that'll be our first goal for today. As far as I can tell, there's not a concrete definition of what mindfulness is, but we can think of mindfulness as a byproduct of awareness. Mindfulness is a byproduct of awareness. And awareness, for the sake of this presentation, can be seen as a ball of light, right? So this ball of light can go anywhere you will it to go. It can go in the past, it could go in the future, it could go in the present, and it could even go to fantasy. So it can go anywhere that you will it to go. And your awareness is so powerful that your brain has a difficult time differentiating that which you experience in your mind and that which is actually happening in your present moment in your life. And I really want to drive this point home and emphasize the importance of awareness. So Lillian's going to do a quick awareness practice with you guys, and then we're going to move on to meditation and how that differs from mindfulness.
Okay, great. So for our awareness practice or our mindfulness practice, like Wes mentioned, we're going to use that ball of light idea to just turn our focus to a different memory. So first, you can leave your camera on or off. It's kind of up to you. You've probably done similar exercises before, or you may have done. But this is going to be an individual activity, and we're going to just work on building that skill of mindfulness. So first thing I'd like you to do is take an inhale and exhale. And then just feel yourself in your body. So feel your head resting on top of your spine. Feel your feet flat on the floor. Place your hands on your legs. Close your eyes if you want, or you can just leave them gently open, kind of gazing at a point somewhere in front of you. We're going to inhale again and exhale. Notice the temperature in the room where you are. Think of that ball of light traveling through your body. Are you feeling warm? Are you feeling cool? Be aware of the temperature of the air in the room. Notice any sounds inside the room. People talking or machines, computers running. Send your awareness around the room. And then let your awareness drift outside the room. Do you hear anything outside, whether that's birds or people in a different part of the building? Notice your posture again. So just bring your awareness back to your body and how your head rests above your spine. And then we're going to let the awareness travel to something delicious that you had to eat recently. So think of this item. Was it a meal or a snack or a dessert? Think of where you were when you were eating it. Think of who was with you. Were you by yourself? Were you with family, with friends? Think of the food Was it salty or sweet, savory, umami, some other taste? Was it chewy, soft, crunchy? Let your awareness be with that experience of eating, that memory of eating. And now we're going to bring our awareness back to the room where you are, keeping your eyes closed. Just notice your body again. Notice your head on your spine. Notice your feet on the floor, your hands on your legs. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Notice what your mind is doing, where your awareness is, where your mind is. Stay with your breath for one more inhale and one more exhale. And then go ahead and open your eyes. And just notice how your awareness traveled from one place to another, whether that was in your body, in your memory, in some other thing that was coming up for you, some other topic or worry that your mind was bringing to you. And I'm going to let Wes talk a little bit more about the benefits.
That was very relaxing, actually. And I was thinking about strawberries and Cool Whip. It was quite delicious. So now that we understand what awareness is, we can see how it plays into meditation. There's a number of ways to meditate. So the most accurate way to describe meditation that's all-inclusive is that meditation is a practice. It's a practice of strengthening your awareness muscle. And you can think of mindfulness or awareness as a muscle. It's something you practice on and you build your concentration on. And if you have kids, you might have told your kids to concentrate and pay attention, but you might not have taught them how to concentrate, even though you implicitly understand what this means. So now that we understand what mindfulness and meditation is, we can see why it's important, and then we'll get to a meditation practice. So I firmly believe that awareness and time are the two most valuable things that we have. If big companies like Facebook and YouTube compete for our time and our awareness, and the average person spends 3 hours a day on their phone, why isn't the value of our own time and awareness emphasized to ourselves? And how different might our lives be if we allow ourselves to fully feel and express the things that we experience, instead of diverting our attention to trivial matters when we feel the slightest bit of anxiety or boredom? So in addition to meditation and mindfulness being important for time and awareness' sake, it's also good for these 4 reasons. Number one, it's easy to do. It might not be easy to concentrate, but it's easy to concentrate, if you know what I mean. The trick is building that awareness muscle and learning how to concentrate for longer periods of time. Second, it's easy to remember. Anytime you experience something, your awareness is drawn to it. And the trick is catching your awareness when it lands in those specific places, and then bringing your awareness to where you want it to be. So if you're having anxiety all the time, you might notice where your thoughts are going when you're having anxiety all the time, and instead bring them to something that's more beneficial for you. For example, when I public speak, everybody knows public speaking is one of the biggest fears in the world. And when I public speak, I recognize the feelings of discomfort in my body or in my mind, and I actively relax my body while I'm public speaking. And this helps to mitigate any anxiety forming in my mind, since physiology and psychology kind of go hand in hand most of the time. And finally, there's immediate benefits and lifelong benefits to engaging in regular meditation and mindfulness practices. And I want to get into that a little bit because I think this is important information to know. First of all, we'll start with the mental health aspect of it, and then we'll move to the physical health aspect and some of the physical experiences that happen when you engage in meditation and mindfulness will explain some of the mental benefits. So for example, meditation and mindfulness helps with your emotional regulation. It helps you control your emotions. It decreases stress, decreases anxiety, decreases depression. It helps those with ADHD manage their symptoms. It helps those with PTSD manage their symptoms. And it even helps those with cancer manage their symptoms. If somebody has an eating disorder, or if you just simply crave a sugary or a fatty food that you know you shouldn't eat, it helps control your cravings for those foods. It also increases the empathy that you have for your others, and it increases the self-compassion that you have. So you understand yourself better, and you understand other people better, and you connect with them better. It also helps with your neural connectivity. I know this is an abstract term, but I'll explain it a little bit once we get to the physical health. Meditation helps with a clearer mind, if done correctly, of course. People mentioned in the questions that it didn't really do much for them. So done correctly, it helps with a clearer mind. It increases your attention span, as well as the depth of processing that you have in the specific situations that you find yourself in or what you're thinking about. It allows you to recall things more efficiently. It also helps remember things that you're currently learning more efficiently. It allows you to stay in the present moment, of course, and it slows the aging brain. Exercise is the other thing that slows the aging brain. Exercise has been shown to be one of the only things that maintains your IQ once you turn 25 and older. Once you're 25 and older, your IQ is on a steady decline, and studies show that exercise and meditation are a couple things that can help maintain that, so it doesn't decrease, of course. And so now, physically, I think the number one most important thing that we can get out of this is that it helps with your sleep. It used to take me like 2 hours to fall asleep, but once I practice a 20-minute meditation before I go to bed, it takes me like 30 minutes, and that's still a bit high for most people, from what I can tell. But it's way quicker for me to fall asleep, and it dramatically increases the quality of your sleep. It allows you to have more dense rapid eye movement periods, which is what you get in when you dream. It allows you to spend more time in slow wave sleep, and it allows you to have more sleep cycles. Regarding your brain, it increases the amount of gray matter in numerous parts of the brain. Gray matter is responsible for information processing. So as we touched on before regarding mental health, this is why with a meditation practice, we're able to analyze things more in depth and also recall things better. Synchronization of your brain waves also takes place across both brain hemispheres, and this allows for a clearer and more focused mind. And also, you gain control over thought to be involuntary processes such as heart rate, body temperature, blood pressure, and different breathing exercises produces different results regarding these involuntary processes. It decreases cortisol. Cortisol has your body hold on to fat more, so if you have less stress, cortisol is a stress hormone. So with less stress, your body's able to get rid of more fat. So it decreases your BMI, and it also makes you less stressed. It increases the amount of blood that's circulated through your body, as well as through your mind, through your brain, which is good for functioning. And yes, this is all backed up and legitimate. These are all the references that I use, all peer-reviewed studies. So it's real stuff. So now that we know what meditation and mindfulness is, meditation is a practice of awareness, and mindfulness is awareness, or a byproduct of awareness. And we know it's important. It's good for your mental and physical health in a number of ways, way more than I listed. Now I think is a good time to practice your awareness and see how efficient you might be able to maintain your concentration on one thing. So I'll stop sharing here, and should be back to the screen. All right, so now we are going to finish off with a quick practice. I'm going to make this quick because we only got a few minutes. Hopefully it'll only take about a couple minutes. So we'll have everybody, you can turn your cameras on or off, it's up to you, but sit up straight in your chairs with your hands on your lap, any way you'd like. Have your head rest on top of your spine and relax your shoulders. Put your feet flat on the ground. Take a deep breath in. Feel the air going into your lungs, and exhale. Feeling relaxation filling your body. Deep breath in. feeling peace. And exhale, feeling relaxed. Deep breath in, feeling peace. And exhale, feeling relaxed. Now, when I say a body part, bring your awareness to that body part and relax it. So bring your awareness to your right foot. Deep breath in. And exhale and relax your foot. Continue to breathe while we do this. Right ankle, right calf, hit right knee, right thigh, right hip, your pelvic region, left hip, left thigh, left knee, left calf, left ankle, left foot, stomach, chest, back, shoulders, right arm, right hand, left arm, left hand, neck, top of your head, forehead, eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaw, nose, lips, chin, and take a deep breath in and relax your whole body on the exhale. Deep breath in and relax your whole body. Now just become aware of your breath as you breathe in and exhale. And we're going to try this for just about 30 seconds or a minute on your own. I'll prompt you to remind you to breathe in and out and see if you can concentrate on your breath. Breathe in. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and relax on the exhale. Awareness to your breath in and exhale. Now, without opening your eyes, bring your awareness back to your body. You can wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit and gently open your eyes. And if you're like me and like most people, each time I prompt you to remember that you were breathing, you were probably thinking about something else. Or maybe if you're more experienced, you weren't. We don't have very much time left. We only have a couple minutes, but if anybody has anything that they would like to share about their experience during that brief meditation, ideally that would have gone on for a little bit longer. But if you had anything pop up in your mind, anything worth sharing, we'd like to see that in the chat. Or you can unmute yourself and mention how you felt.
This is Anna. I'll just talk out loud. In the first practice we did with Lillian, when you mentioned the food thing, I smelled the food that I was thinking of. It was really weird. I don't know if it was just because I was able to turn off other parts of my brain, but it was cool.
The power of our awareness. Anybody else?
I just wanted to share that, like, when you were mentioning, pay attention to your leg and to your right arm, all that stuff, I feel like in the moment when I'm actually thinking about it, I can feel my body relaxing even more than, just when I'm doing it without thinking of all my body parts. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I noticed I don't really realize how much tension is in my body until I really acknowledge that body part.
Yeah, my jaw was very, very clenched. So I was like, oh, I need to relax that.
Yeah, Stacey, that's really interesting. I have a lot of theories and different types of breathing techniques that touch on, you said, colors that you saw. There's some really interesting stuff about that. We hit 12 o'clock though, so we're gonna have to wrap up. I'll let Alejandra close us out. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Wesley, for that awesome session. I personally feel a lot calmer and centered after this, so thank you again. So I know again that we've already hit the 1 o'clock time, but I just wanted to resend that link to register for upcoming events. That's going to be on May 4th from 12:30 to 1:30, and the topic is de-stress and reset. So again, I'm resending that in the chat right now. It was so awesome to see everybody again, and feel free to email us if you have any questions.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. Wesley and Lillian, that was awesome. We actually have a meeting right now we have to get to with another presenter. But we can connect later this week if you'd like. Sorry.
Hey,
no worries. Thanks, ladies. We'll see you again soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
See ya.
Mm-hmm.